Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more than we'll see. And we'll live, and we'll grow, taking steps into the unknown. There we will find the essence of life.
We're here tonight at the Stoller Center, and it's part of the Arts Alive Long Island series. Stay tuned for more. With us now, celebrating the arts on Long Island, is Alan Ingalls. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Donna. Thanks for having me.
Good. Are you excited about this wonderful art series?
I am thrilled. It's amazing that we're doing this on Long Island. It's fantastic. And to have the Emerson String Quartet part of it is just a dream come true.
Now, how long have you been at the Stoller Center?
This is my 29th year. It'll be 30 years next year. I'm actually catching up to the Emerson String Quartet. They've been over 30 years, and I'm just about catching up to them.
Congratulations. And I know you do all types of performances here at the Stoller Center. Can you give us a broad spectrum of what you have?
We do live programs, music, theater, dance. We have a wonderful film series. We do a film festival in the summer, as you know a lot about. We do the Met Opera broadcast. We do the National Theater broadcast. We do university productions, music, theater, and art. About 300 concerts, plays, films, dance, and family programs happen here a year in our 5 theaters.
When you first heard about the collaboration of all the arts organizations, what were your thoughts?
Well, I think it's great because, we're so varied. Long Island is made up of so many different, amateur theaters, professional theaters, museums, art exhibits, galleries. There's never a chance to put it all together. And this thing, I know Roger Tillis it's been a dream of Roger's because we've been sitting on committees and his buddy Elliot over at Tillis Center have been talking about this for years. So to make it happen and have it really happen this year is really special. So I think it's great to bring a lot of people together that normally are in their own theaters, not seeing each other's work. To do that and get the audiences together and get the excitement, energy together for Long Island is really special.
Well, congratulations, and I'm excited. You got a wonderful concert coming up.
We do. Let's get in. It's about to start.
With us now is Mr. Nelson DeMille. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Donna.
I'm so excited because you actually signed an early copy of the book for me.
Right. Comes out October 16th, but they gave the author a couple of copies to put on TV when we can,
Yeah, how nice of them.
Right.
When you actually are writing a book, are you still using a typewriter or do you use the computer now? And what was that transition like for you?
No, I don't use either. I use a pencil.
Do you really?
And I write longhand on long legal yellow pads.
Oh my gosh.
This is what I've been doing for 35 years, and it works. And I type, but I don't type well. I don't type as fast as my brain works. So we all learned how to write with a pencil.
Right.
And I'm kind of regressing to my kindergarten years, and I have this long legal yellow pen. That's the new thing. The pencil is the old thing, and that's how I write my books. And then I have them. My assistant puts them in into a computer, and so I can play with it a little bit. And it worked for me, and there are other people do it. Just talking about Robert Caro with somebody earlier, and he writes longhand. Kurt Vonnegut used to write longhand. A lot of people still write longhand.
Yeah, I guess because it's a conduit from your head to your heart and right through your hand.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. The other thing is mechanical. I can't compose or I can't be creative on the typewriter, and there are a lot of writers who can. Mark Twain was one of the first ones to use a typewriter back in the 1890s. And I think it changed his writing for the worse.
Oh, you could see like more stilted
Yeah,
tone?
I think it's more stilted. And, it's sort of like you think it's carved in stone because it's in type, but it's not carved in stone. And when it's in pencil, you can erase. I don't even erase. I just cross out.
You're like, I don't like what I made that character do.
Exactly.
Wait, he wasn't standing under the tree. He was behind the wall. Now, have you ever started a book in the middle and then... You know what I'm saying?
No,
like the climax of it and then figured out what happened beforehand, or do you always go from beginning
I
through?
always go from beginning to end. It's a linear thing. My plots are not convoluted. I don't do a lot of subplots. It's a straight, linear from the beginning to the end, and it's got to progress. And when I'm doing rewrites, of course, sometimes I forget what I took out. And it's confusing if you do it any other way except in a linear way, and you have to really reread what you've written. When you've written 5 chapters, it's easy to reread before you start the next chapter. But when you get to about chapter 40, then you've got to do a lot of rereading in the morning. But you want to make, it's got to have some continuity, especially if the internal chronology of the book is a couple of days. So it can't, and it might have taken you 6 months to write this, but it's the chronology of the book is 5 or 6 days. So you need to look at it as though it's happening at the moment. And the only way it's going to be happening at the moment is if you read it all. So I do a lot of rereading of my own stuff and try to make it sound like it's now, it's at the moment.
It's fabulous. Character development. Do you ever like meet somebody on the street and say, you know what, there's something about that person, the way they look, and you incorporate it into something? Or where do your characters come from?
Mostly my mind. No, I don't know anybody that interesting. There are pieces of people, though, little quirks. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes physical descriptions, but mostly, you got to be careful when you base a character on a real person, because you already have either a positive or a negative prejudice toward them. So I try to make them up out of whole cloth. But you can't help but using pieces of people, because they've got to sound like people you know. But especially my heroes and my heroines, there's nobody I've ever met that has been as interesting as the people I create. So you have to take pieces of people.
And I have one other question for you. Well, actually 2. But before I ask you a question about Susan Isaacs, I wanted to ask one more question, and that was, at what age, Nelson, did you realize, or I should call you Mr. DeMille, I apologize, but at what age did you realize that you were gifted? Like something was unique about you?
In terms of writing, it was really college. In high school, I didn't know I wanted to be a writer, and I didn't think I wrote well, but I did. I didn't know that, but nobody encouraged me in high school. Not that it wasn't a good high school education, it was, but it wasn't creative, and in those days I didn't have a lot of creative writing. But then to answer the question briefly, when I got to college, I started writing these term papers, and a lot of professors would write on them, you write well. This is the first time I'd ever heard that in my life. One professor, English, accused me of plagiarizing, because I didn't plagiarize, it was mine. And I said, what an incredible compliment. He thought I took this from somebody else. And I never forget it, it was a paper on Beowulf, of all things. And I did it myself, and he thought I'd gotten it from someplace else. So, my thinking was that, yes, I do have a gift, and I realized it in college. You have to be kind of mature to realize that. I used to think that everybody wrote the way I did, but I used to look at other people's term papers and realize how really awful they were. And then I went in the Army for 3 years, and I came out, and at that time, I think with the experience of, combat in Vietnam, I decided I wanted to write, the Great American War novel. So that's what really impelled me into it, I think, Vietnam, but also the encouragement of a lot of professors. And I mind you, I got like C minuses on some of these papers, but they would still say, because they weren't well researched, they would still say you write well, because I was making a lot of it up. So I said, I can't do journalism because they want facts in journalism, but I certainly can be a novelist and make it up.
Fabulous. Well, first of all, thank you for your service.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
And what do you love most about Susan Isaacs? Because you're here to celebrate her also tonight.
Susan Isaacs' wit. I just had dinner with Susan, and it's a laugh a minute. I mean, her characters that you see in the books is really a little bit of her, and she has an incredible wit and an incredible, I think, a heart too. And it comes out in the writing, but it comes out when we just sit and have a drink together. And everybody enjoys her company, and I especially enjoy her company.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all the things that you do for Long Islanders. It's wonderful. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Donna.
Nice
Thanks so
to
much.
meet you. Happy journeys to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're here once again at the Cradle of Aviation, but today's a really special day because they're opening up and unveiling the JetBlue new planetarium. And with me now is Linda. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Now you're all part of Arts Alive.
We
Long
are.
Island. How
We
exciting.
are. It's very exciting. So in my Bethpage Federal Credit Union role, we're the main sponsor of Arts Alive, and really happy to be a part of it and bring all these super exciting events to Long Island and build awareness about arts programs throughout the month of October.
So it's like you have two hats today. You work for Bethpage. You're
do.
an executive at Bethpage.
I am.
And then you're also on the board here at the
I
Cradle of
am.
Aviation.
I am newly elected chairperson here and so excited. We have a really phenomenal mission to bring education around science and math to students on Long Island. Our goal is to use the artifacts of the museum to inspire today's youth to be tomorrow's inventors. And this planetarium that's opening this week is just a big part of that program.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. I remember I was born in 1965, and the whole, space program and the things that we've grown up with,
Yep.
and the astronauts and everything, and even the aviation. And right here, Kitty Hawk. There's so much aviation history here in Long Island.
Right.
And now we're making history with the new planetarium.
Yep.
What's different about this planetarium? Because I heard there's a little bit of a twist.
It is.
Okay.
So it's a completely digital planetarium. It's hooked up through NASA. So we actually are about 6 hours behind what NASA sees on their telescopes. We can watch weather patterns. We can create shows. So a teacher could actually build a lesson plan around an astronomy show, and then we can build the show around the lesson plan. There's all different varieties of shows. It's almost 3D. You don't have to wear the crazy glasses though. And it's just phenomenal. So it's not just the same static show every single time. We can change the shows. We can actually, with satellites, show what's happening in space and also mirror it through the planetarium. So there's a lot of very cool things that we could do.
Well, I think with the invention of the internet and everything, like we're more of a global community, and now we're like an interplanetary.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
Gary, cameraman, what's the word I'm looking for? Interplanetary community.
We are.
So we're having some fun here at the Cradle of Aviation.
We are.
And thank you so much. And I think we're going to take a peek inside,
I think we are.
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Let's
Great.
go.
Thanks.
With us now is part of the Arts Alive Long Island series is Susan Isaacs, and we're here at the Landmark on Main Street. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's so exciting. People are all abuzz. I hear them all outside ready
Buzzing
to just buzz
and
out. Yeah. Now, you've done some of their signature series here before, correct?
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, first of all, it's my home community, so that's number one. Number two, it's just a great audience. I mean, they're smart. They're here to have a good time. It's lovely. I mean, it's congenial. Even if they throw you a hard question, it's a fun hard question. I love it.
Now, Nelson DeMille just told me that he loves your wit. Do you find yourself witty? Is that something that you added to
Listen, if you live with yourself, it's not such a thrill. And I don't go, har, har, har. Maybe once every novel,
Okay.
I'll give a little chortle, but
Right. So now, and you write about things that happen in everyday life.
Right.
Okay, tell us about that process for you.
Okay, what generally happens is a character comes to mind. And in this case, it was Gloria Goldberg who changed her name to Garrison. And she is 79 years old. She owns a huge fashion and beauty makeover company. She has it all, except she is a miserable human being. She's one of these people who is so perceptive, and she'll find your weakest spot and then hate you where it hurts. And she's so alienated everyone, she has no one to leave her business to. She's 79. So she brings into Santa Fe, where the business is, her 3 grandchildren from whom she's estranged. And she said, I am going to spend the weekend with you, and by the end of it, I will choose one and only one to inherit the business.
Nice sibling rivalry, right?
Nice sibling rivalry, except they're 3 of them, they're all 20-somethings, and 1, 2, 3, they all say, no thank you. So it's really King Lear turned on its head, because nobody wants the kingdom. And so the novel is what happens to them at the end of the weekend, through the weekend, and also is there a shot at redemption? I mean, when you're 79 years old, number one, do you want to change your ways, even if a way is shown to you? And number, can you?
Yeah.
So it's really about the possibility of reconciliation.
I like it.
So it's a good story. And in her, with all her miserable rottenness, she's hilarious.
Oh, I'm looking forward to reading it. In fact,
Yeah.
I actually took a picture. See my heels? Because you
Oh,
have heels on the back of your
wow,
book.
yes.
So I took a picture of my heels next to your book.
Oh
I'm like,
my
what a fun
gosh.
cover. The cover just makes you want to like figure out like if you're going to step into that character's
Whose shoes? Yes,
right?
exactly.
So it looks like a lot of fun. And you're here tonight at Landmark on Main Street.
Right.
Right. And so your books are available everywhere. But when you first got a book published, the very first time, what was
Right.
that moment like for you?
It was, well, it was amazing and it wasn't amazing. I mean, on one hand, suddenly all the good luck that can happen with the first novel happened to me.
Wow.
You know, Book of the Month Club main selection, a movie, translated into 30 languages. So I was stunned and awed. But on the other hand, I still had to get one kid to preschool and the other one into first grade. So, you know, you can't walk around with a sable boa and say, darling.
I've arrived,
Right. You know, what can you do? So you just say, okay, on with it. And but it helped me to keep a balance. And I could have a relatively calm outer life and live whatever inner life I wanted. So it's been murder, mayhem, espionage, sagas, all sorts of fiction. And it's been a great career.
And I think that's the gift that you bring to the world, is the fact that no matter where somebody is in their walk of life, through your books they get to like kind of experience something different. A whole new world is opened up to them, whether they're reading in their bathtub or their bedroom or wherever
Right,
it is.
exactly.
Or the airplane.
I hope so.
Yeah, so, well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for spending time with us. I'd love to talk to you longer, but I know there's like so many people that want to talk to you. So thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank
It was
you very
great.
much. It was nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Now are two of the original members from the Blue Oyster Cult. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hello.
And you're part of the Long Island Arts Alliance. Does it feel good to be back on Long Island?
Yes, I was born and raised on Long Island. Been away for several decades now, but it's always good to come home.
And a little bit about what you're doing here tonight.
Well, we're doing our first acoustic show, official acoustic show. We've done maybe a song here or there over the years, but this is an all acoustic show, 90 odd minutes of nothing but strumming.
I'm liking it. I'm really excited to be here.
We are too. It's kind of fun, and I love this venue.
Yeah, you know, the Landmark here in Port Washington is historic, and they go out of their way, I think, to bring quality shows here. When you were living on Long Island, did you ever see anything here, or go to the Tillis Center, or
This
some
hasn't-
of your
this
favorite
hasn't-
venues,
this
Jones
venue-
Beach at all? Or?
Oh, sure, yeah. Jones Beach, Comac Arena, which is long gone. No, we played Nassau Coliseum. Matter of fact, there was a storm during one of those shows too. As we're recording this, there's the impending hurricane. So
Yes, expecting Hurricane Sandy any day now.
When you guys think about songs and lyrics and things of that nature, or creating new music and new tunes, because I know you've got a big classic collection coming out in Columbia.
yes.
But do you still find inspiration in everyday life, like the hurricane? Like, would that stir something up in you?
Well, we have a hurricane song.
Right.
We're not going to play it. This
We have addressed hurricanes in the past.
we have a song called "Eye of the Hurricane," which is on our last album.
Yes, and because it's so close to Halloween, you know, everybody on my Facebook was like, "Oh, don't fear the."
Reaper.
There you go.
And of course, the original Halloween movie has Reaper in it.
It's all good stuff here. Tell me a little bit about why you're still together. What bonds the two of you?
Besides employment, you know, it's still fun.
It is still fun, and I think we both agree that we like to play, and we'd rather play than not play.
And when you first realized that you made it, like when your private life became a public life, does that ever get easier for you?
We're not that famous, you know. Frankly, it's at our level of celebrity, it's actually pretty comfortable. You know, yeah, it's not a problem.
Just so that you know, you are that famous. And how about you?
No,
What do you
there's
think?
no paparazzi hanging around BOC.
Let me just say, the moment that I put out, though, that I was going to be here, my Facebook, like I said, it just kind of flooded. I don't think, maybe it's nice that you guys are humble and that you don't realize how much your music means to everybody, but you guys are pretty talented.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, you see how our stuff ripples out into the larger culture once in a while. That's really gratifying, you know. But it's day by day. You don't, you know. You just put it out there and see what happens.
Well, the Facebook people are part of the contingent of what I call the senior citizens of BOC. That's like I seen you in '78.
And they want to see more. So when will this collection be available?
November 6th on Legacy, which is part of Sony, and you can pre-order on Amazon and other internet-type sales places.
And are there other people that you guys enjoy playing with, other people that you kind of like to just jam with sometimes in your spare time?
We tour with a lot of different acts, and most of them we really enjoy, especially nowadays. You know, back in when we first came out and we were making records in the 70s and 80s, you know, I think there was a lot more competition among the bands, you know. But right now, as it's everyone really wants to have a good time,
Yeah,
and so we.
Aging. You know, we play with bands like Kansas or REO Speedwagon, Nazareth. Joan Jett. We play with a lot of really good bands, and we enjoy playing with all of them. They're all our old friends, so it's great.
Excellent. Anything else I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with me?
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And do people still bring cowbells and craziness and
Cowbells, yes, they do.
Okay, now what is that story? Because you know what, a lot of times people tell that story over and over and over and again, but I'd like to hear it from you guys directly.
Well, there was a famous Saturday Night Live sketch that's I think it came in at number 5 all-time popular of that show, and Christopher Walken, of course.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Yeah, it was his sketch. I don't know where he came up with the idea. You know, it's like I'd like to ask him sometime. You know.
It came out of his head. He wrote it, and of course, actually, Buck looked up. I think online that the original script is not really exactly what they showed because there was so much ad-libbing. If you watch it again, you can watch they're all cracking up, and I got a funny feeling that some of the lines, like the gold diapers line, I don't think that was in there.
Yeah.
And the one thing I wanted to mention to you as well is that, you know, as you were coming through the process of, you know, major superstarism and all of that other type of stuff, were there people that would like park outside of your house? Like, how did you personally know that your life had changed?
People used to ring my doorbell because, you know, my parents' house was listed and everything, and you know, my mom would entertain fans. She would invite them in and say, you know, yeah, sure.
Have some milk and cookies.
There you go. So maybe I'll be having some milk and cookies later, but I've been with Blue Oyster Cult and it's been amazing. Stay tuned for more. I'm here at the Oyster Bay Festival and the year is 2012, and I'm here with Elise Drake and Mandy. How are you guys?
Hi, good. This corn is so good.
The corn is so good. The corn is so good that in between me like videotaping other people, I was like, could you please get me corn? Now what's so generous about the Oyster Bay Festival is that they thought one of these was too short, so they actually gave me 2. And I'm like just walking around like, peace, man, corn. Living it up at the Oyster Bay Festival 2012. One of the greatest things about the Oyster Bay Festival, obviously, is the food. It's the music, it's the carnival vendors, it's all kinds of great things. Now, why did you decide to participate in the Oyster Bay Festival this year?
We love it here in Long Island. It's awesome. The people are great. They're very welcoming. They love to see us come back. We do Jones Beach, we do Belmore, we do Merrick, so we're happy to be here, really happy to be here.
And you make the festival smell great.
Yeah.
It tastes great and it smells great here.
Yeah, that's a good offshoot from it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And the corn that you're offering today, you have like some corn that's not popped. You have a variety of different things.
Well, the corn, you cannot get this breed of kernel in a store. This is called magic mushroom kernel. So it pops up in this big round ball shape, and you can't buy it in the store. So our customers ask us, they want to be able to make it at home.
Ah, very nice. Yeah. Well, there you had it here, right here from the president of the company herself. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna.
With us now is Craig, and he is with the Meat House in Roslyn. Now tell us about your concept. What's the Meat House all about?
Sure. The Meat House is your neighborhood butcher shop marketplace all in one. Butcher shop, fresh food, fresh seafood, catering, What we're doing right now is we're looking into a restaurant-style to-go menu. So with the fall coming in, the winter, people want to be able to stay in their houses and have a restaurant meal. So they can call the restaurant, have steak, everything like that delivered fresh to your house.
Ooh.
Yep, cooked by restaurant chefs.
I'm liking that. So instead of just like picking it up on the way home from work, you're going to bring them the cooked meal?
Exactly. Or if you don't want to go out and say spend $200-300 on dinner with your, with your fiance, your wife, your kids, call the store. We'll deliver it to your house. Steak, chicken, fish, anything you like.
It sounds fabulous. And I know you brought me a little tasting sample over here. Actually, you brought me more than a tasting sample. There's a whole plate of beautifully fresh grilled, like chicken satay pieces, right?
Yep. Those are chicken skewers with our maple bourbon marinade on them. The company has 8 or 9 marinades that have been patented through the country, and that's the maple bourbon.
Fabulous. And how many meat houses are there in the country?
There are 32 across the country, and this is our first one in a major market such as Roslyn.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for sponsoring the Oyster Bay Festival.
Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
With us now is John, and he's been with the Oyster Bay Festival for 13 years as the official announcer. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good. Now, the script, does it change every day, or is it basically the same from year to year?
It changes every day. There's pre-recorded announcements and the real-time announcements.
And this booth, is this normally like a ticket booth, but now it's converted into this wonderful sound recording place?
I live here all year. I gather the stuff for the beaches in the summertime, and then I come here for this. No, it is the ticket booth for the beach here.
Now, what do you feel about this year's Oyster Bay Festival 2012?
This one was a great one. We had some fantastic weather. The crowds were great. So far, no problems with it, and everything went smooth as possible. When you have something this big and you see it go that smooth, it's always good to see.
Now, you have some final announcements to make, I guess, right? What happens in the very last hour of the festival here?
Well, the next big and last thing is, first of all, get all of these people out of here. There's roughly about 150,000 people per day when we have a busy day, and the most important one for most people is the raffle.
And there's some big raffle prizes here that the Rotary sponsors, correct?
That's correct. This year's prizes are a lease on an Audi Q5 and $15,000 in cash.
That sounds like a lot of fun. A little bit of gas, a little bit of money they can spend at a local restaurant. Could be nice.
Well, if my boss gets it, he's taking us out to dinner, so.
Oh, good luck with that. So, and did you have any oysters this year, John?
Yes.
Okay. And what another favorite food item maybe?
Let's see. The New England clam chowder is really good.
I might have to step over there. I had some kettle corn too. Have you had any of the kettle corn?
Kettle corn is good, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll give you some kettle corn on our way out. Nice to meet you.
Great. Nice to meet you too. Take care.
Thanks for watching Live It Up with Donna Drake, and be well and happy journeys. Visit us on the web at liveituptvshow.com for more tips on attaining the life of your dreams. This program has been brought to you by Drake Media Network, Incorporated.